Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Office Bloke Aidan.
Yeah, two of us at the moment.
Hello.
A bit of geography by Jeff.
Nice.
Yeah, I do like
Hell
this
yeah.
channel. I love geography. Geography is probably my strongest subject, I would say.
What about you, Canadian geography?
Not so good. Did a little bit on Baffin Island when I was a kid at school.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Bit random.
Yeah, it was. But as far as geography of Canada goes, not very good in Canada. Never been. Well, I've been. I've passed through an airport, if that classifies as been.
Yep.
Been on Canadian soil, but never actually been out in Canada. It's definitely a place I want to go to. And it just looks, scenery-wise, it looks mint.
Is that called Hudson Bay, that big bit of water there?
Hudson Bay, I think
Is that
it
do you reckon that's like the biggest bay in the world?
Ooh,
Probably,
possibly,
right?
Yeah, possibly.
That could be one of the 15 amazing facts.
I know Canada's a huge country. It's the
Second
second
biggest,
largest in the world, isn't it? But it's just, I mean, look at all this up here. They've got loads, haven't they? But it's just, I mean, I know loads of people live in this area, sort of thing.
It is a lot of nothing up there, isn't it?
I know it's sort of like a lot. It's confined to sort of like smaller areas. I know you've got like, obviously you got Vancouver on the west coast, you've got Calgary and Edmonton, places like that. Then you go over further to Quebec, Montreal, Toronto, places like that. Then obviously you got Newfoundland, places like that. But people were saying in the last one we did, you know how far it is to drive? You need to check your geography. We know how far it is. We were guessing the 12-hour thing we were talking about with Chicago and New York, wasn't we?
Yeah.
Is what we were talking. And then and people going, it'll take you 3 days to get there. And I'm like, there's no airports. Surely you can fly from somewhere to somewhere else in less than 3 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but we do realise how big Canada is. It's not something but we don't really know a massive amount about it. Well, I don't anyway. I don't know how much you know.
We'll find out. This
is 15 amazing geography facts about Canada. Let's go.
Canada is an amazing country that makes up about 1/3 of all of North America. And because it's so vast and spans such a large area, it's bound to have some of the most awe-inspiring geography attached to it. So here are 15 of my favorite geography facts about the Great White North.
And to kick us off, do you know how many islands Canada has?
How many islands? Well, that's going to be I'm going to say...
Do you have a guess?
Yeah, I'm going to say 150,000.
Ooh, that many?
Yeah.
I'd say probably...
Maybe more.
I'd say 50,000. 150,000 is a lot.
Yeah, I know, but I think there's going to be a lot.
Oh, I'll go with 50,000. I'm going lower, a lot lower.
I might be wrong.
Canada has more islands than any other country in the world. With
Hang on. That's cat. That's bullshit. Sweden has the most.
I think Sweden does have the most.
Sweden has the most islands in the world. That's wrong.
I think you're right there with Sweden.
I
don't know. I'd have to fact find that. But I think
search up on your phone that anyone watching what country has the most islands. I bet the answer is Sweden.
If someone asked me what country has the most islands, I'd have guessed Sweden.
It is. I'm sure of it, man.
Yeah.
52,000 named
52.
islands and countless smaller unnamed ones.
Sweden has 230,000.
Yeah, it's small. I know it was over 200,000. Yeah.
The Arctic archipelago alone contains over 36,000 islands, including Baffin Island, the world's 5th largest, and Ellesmere Island, the 10th largest. Combined, these islands account for about 15%
Ellesmere looks bigger than Baffin.
Mass.
Yeah.
And they're not all Arctic barren tundras. Canada's islands offer incredible diversity. In the east, Prince Edward Island is known for its rolling farmland and beaches, while in the west, Vancouver Island and Haida Gwaii feature lush rainforests and towering mountains. But unlike island nations such as Indonesia or the Philippines, which are densely populated, Canada's islands are often remote and sparsely inhabited. This isolation makes them vital for scientific research, tourism, and environmental conservation.
And because it has so many islands, it also has...
Yeah.
That's true.
Canada's coastline is the longest in the world, stretching over 202,000 kilometers. It borders 3 oceans, the Atlantic, the Pacific, and the Arctic. To put it in perspective, the second longest coastline belongs to Indonesia, a country of over 17,000 islands, yet its coastline measures just 54,000 kilometers. Canada's coastline is nearly 4 times longer. This immense length contributes significantly to Canada's economy.
Sweden's coastline must be quite big then, right?
Yeah, probably you would have thought
If it's got 200,000 islands plus over 200,000
They're all really
islands.
small islands.
Yeah,
I think when he said like the most islands, 50, I think they might be named islands.
Named islands, yeah.
And biodiversity. The coastlines are home to vital fisheries, particularly for lobster and crab on the Atlantic side and salmon on the Pacific side. The Arctic coastline, though less accessible, is becoming increasingly important with climate change, as melting ice opens potential shipping routes like the Northwest Passage. Canada's extensive coastline also includes famous natural wonders like the Bay of Fundy, known for having the world's highest tides, with some areas rising over 16 meters in a single day.
With a coastline this long, it's probably not surprising that Canada is really, really large.
Press pause there for a sec. You know, talking about how you think Sweden could be there. It's similar to Norway, isn't it? Norway's the second biggest coastline. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because of all the islands.
Yeah. Oh, it's like it's not really all the islands. It's also more the
way
roughly the
fjords.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
like
Norway.
the
The
name
fjords
is
in
for it.
Norway, isn't it? That go in, but it's yeah. I'm just thinking with coastal. So like when you're talking, every island's coastal, isn't it? It's got a coast. So when you're talking coastlines, you're going around the islands, and that's the mileage. But like you said, I think 52,000 named islands.
Yeah.
The ones in Sweden not named necessarily.
Probably, yeah.
Canada covers a vast 9.98 million square kilometers, making it the second largest country on Earth after Russia. It's so large that you could fit the entire European Union into Canada with room to spare. Despite its massive size, Canada's population is only about 40 million people, meaning it has one of the lowest population densities globally, with only about 4 people per square kilometer, an extremely low amount when you compare it to the United States, which has on average 35 people per square kilometer. This vast expanse of Canada includes towering mountains, expansive prairies, frozen tundra, and dense forests. The country's size creates extreme regional diversity, from British Columbia's temperate rainforests to Nunavut's icy Arctic, and from the flat prairies of Saskatchewan all the way to the rocky coast of Newfoundland. Canada's size and overall northernness contributes to harsh winters, which can make living difficult. However, this space also allows Canada to preserve its incredible natural beauty, with
Look at
over
that.
38
Come
national
on.
parks protecting
Nice.
these landscapes.
Well, like a
Now,
swimming
despite
pool.
having so much space, Canada's people haven't really spread out to occupy it all.
Despite Canada's immense size, about 75% of its population lives within 100 miles of the US border. This narrow strip of land accounts for less than 5% of Canada's total area, but it includes cities like Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal, and Ottawa. This concentration is largely due to geography and climate. The southern parts of Canada have a milder climate, more fertile land, and better access to trade with the United States. Meanwhile, the northern regions are dominated by harsh Arctic and subarctic conditions, making large-scale settlement difficult. In comparison, Russia, another vast country with a cold climate, has a similar pattern, with most of its population concentrated in the more temperate west.
Which means Canada's largest bay is mostly uninhabited.
The Hudson Bay is the world's second largest bay after the
Second
Bay of
largest.
Bengal,
Bay of Bengal,
covering
yeah.
1.23 million square kilometers.
Forgot about Bay of
Situated in
Bengal.
northeastern Canada, it's surrounded by Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, and Nunavut. Now, despite its size, the Hudson Bay
I'm having none of it. I think that's the biggest province, isn't it? In Canada.
Is it?
Am I right with that? I think it's the biggest province in Canada. Is that what you call it, province? Or
Yeah. How big's Yukon?
I think none of it's the biggest.
Is that how it's pronounced?
That's how you just pronounced it.
is relatively shallow, with an average depth of just 100 meters. This shallowness means it freezes over completely during the winter, and even in summer, the water remains extremely cold. The bay is a remnant of a prehistoric sea left behind by melting glaciers after the last ice age. The Hudson Bay plays an important role in Canada's history and economy. It was the site of early fur trading posts established by the Hudson's Bay Company, which helped shape Canada's development. Today, its shores are sparsely populated, with small communities relying on fishing, hunting, and shipping.
The Hudson Bay, of course, is not inland, but Canada does have plenty of really large lakes.
Canada is home to more lakes than any other country, boasting over 2 million, with 31,752 larger than 3 square kilometers. That's more than the rest of the world combined. Its lakes account for nearly 9% of the country's total area, a staggering contrast to countries like Australia, which is famous for its arid landscapes and limited freshwater resources. Among Canada's most famous lakes are Lake Superior, which is shared with the US and known as the world's largest freshwater lake by surface area, and Great Bear Lake, located entirely within Canada and recognized as the country's largest by volume. These lakes are essential for hydropower, providing clean energy to millions of Canadians, as well as for recreation and wildlife habitats. Altogether, Canada's Great Lakes system, which also includes Lake Ontario, Erie, and Huron, contains 20% of the world's freshwater supply.
So it makes sense that some of those lakes would also have their own islands.
Canada is home to Manitoulin Island, the world's largest freshwater island, located in Lake Huron. Covering 2,766 square kilometers, it's larger than some countries, such as Luxembourg, which is only 2,586 square kilometers. But unlike most islands surrounded by salt water, Manitoulin is unique for its freshwater setting. But that's not the only thing that sets this island apart from the others. Manitoulin itself contains over 100 inland lakes. Some even have their own islands. This extremely rare phenomenon means that there are islands within lakes on an island within a larger lake. Treasure Island is a great example of this because it's the world's largest natural island in a lake on an island in a lake. Manitoulin Island has a rich indigenous history and remains home to several Anishinaabe communities. Its landscapes feature rolling hills, beaches, and forests, making it a popular destination for outdoor enthusiasts. Boating, fishing, and hiking are common activities, while visitors can also explore cultural sites and learn about the island's First Nation heritage.
Looks beautiful, doesn't it?
But this is, perhaps, not even Canada's most famous freshwater island.
Canada's southernmost point, Middle Island, is farther south than parts of Northern California. Located within Lake Erie at 41.4 degrees north, it lies on the same latitude as cities like Rome and Chicago. However, its location surprises many because Canada is often associated with northern cold climates and snow-covered landscapes. Now, all that said, there are no permanent settlements on Middle Island, as the entire island is a conservation area. So technically, Canada's southernmost point with people would be Pelee Island, just a little north of Middle Island. All in all, not that different and still well south of much of the United States.
We've now covered Canada's far north and far south. But what's in the middle?
Canada's boreal forest is one of the largest intact forests in the entire world, spanning over 2.7 million square kilometers and stretching from Newfoundland to the Yukon. This biome covers nearly 35% of Canada's land area, making it a critical component of the country's geography and environmental health. The boreal forest is home to iconic species such as moose, lynx, and wolves, as well as billions of migratory birds that nest here in the summer. Its trees,
What's the difference between a moose and an elk? Do you know?
I have no idea. It's something to do with
Because that picture there, that one they just shown then, they said the moose, it looks like the picture they have as the elk I've seen on the wall in the elk pub we go in. So I'm wondering what the difference is.
maybe they just got it messed up.
What,
Maybe they searched up for an elk and it showed them a picture of a moose and they
So
thought the
but
moose was
it's-
an elk. Now they think mooses are elks and elks are moose.
I know it's too late because the pub's called the elk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair
Unless
point.
they just change, or did they change the picture to a moose, or did they change the name to a moose?
Yeah, you can't. The bar can't be called the moose, can it?
Change
the
the
elk.
picture to an elk or the name to a moose.
Yeah, you can't call it a moose, or do both.
Do both. Moose with a picture in it. Yeah.
mainly spruces, pines, and firs, also play a vital role in sequestering carbon, helping to mitigate climate change. Canada's boreal forest is larger than those in Russia or Scandinavia, and it plays a
What?
crucial role in regulating global weather patterns. Its vastness and importance have earned it
Look at that.
recognition as one of the world's most significant ecosystems. Unlike tropical rainforests, which are shrinking due to deforestation, much of Canada's boreal forest remains pristine. However, wildfires are a growing concern for the region as every summer, lightning storms set off large, unmanageable fires.
Now, underneath all of those trees is some seriously old rock.
Canada is home to some of the oldest rocks on Earth, dating back nearly 4 billion years. These ancient formations are found in the Canadian Shield, a massive geologic feature that stretches across northern and eastern Canada, including parts of Quebec, Ontario, Manitoba, and the Northwest Territories. The Canadian Shield is a treasure trove for geologists. In 2008, researchers discovered rocks in northern Quebec's Greenstone Belt that are believed to be 4.28 billion years old, predating most life on Earth. These rocks provide a glimpse into Earth's earliest crust and the conditions that shaped our planet. Beyond its age, the Shield is a vital economic region. Rich in minerals like gold, nickel, and copper, it has driven Canada's mining industry for decades. Its rugged landscape, dotted with thousands of lakes and forests, also support tourism and serve as a major carbon sink, absorbing more carbon from the atmosphere than it releases.
All that said, the Canadian Shield does not cross Canada's Great Divide.
Like with the United States, the Continental Divide runs through Canada's Rocky Mountains, separating the watersheds that flow into the Pacific Ocean from those flowing into the Atlantic Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. The divide stretches from Alaska through Canada, down into the US, and beyond to South America, making it one of the longest hydrological divides in the entire world. In Canada, it's most pronounced in British Columbia and Alberta, where the Rockies create a dramatic natural barrier. Rivers like the Columbia flow west into the Pacific, while the Saskatchewan River system carries water eastward to the Hudson Bay. The divide also plays a role in shaping the ecosystems and weather patterns on either side. For example, the west side of the Rockies is wetter and milder due to Pacific air, while the east side is drier and colder.
Speaking
Incredible,
of
isn't
colder,
it? Oh, here we go. Guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah. I mean, it could be the Northwest Territories. That's
It looked big a minute ago, didn't it, when
yeah.
you seen it? Yeah.
Nunavut, established in 1999, is Canada's largest and newest
it's huge.
territory, spanning an enormous 2 million square kilometers, almost the size of Mexico. Despite its
I think I learned that, but it was stuck in my mind because they did Baffin Island when I did a study
Right.
on Baffin Island
right.
when I was a kid, and I think that stuck in my mind. Yeah.
size, it has a population of just over 41,000 people,
Wow.
making it one of the least densely populated areas on Earth. Nunavut is primarily inhabited by Inuit communities, who have lived there for thousands of years. The territory was created as part of a land claim agreement that granted the Inuit self-governance and recognition of their cultural heritage. The capital, Iqaluit, is the largest settlement, yet its population is just over 7,000. Nunavut's geography is dominated by Arctic tundra, rugged mountains, and hundreds of thousands of islands. Famous natural landmarks include Baffin Island and the stunning fjords of Ayudik National Park. Wildlife such as caribou, polar bears, and Arctic foxes thrive here.
Interesting.
Towering at 5,959 meters, Mount Logan in Yukon is Canada's tallest peak and the second highest mountain in North America after Denali in Alaska. Located within Kluane National Park, the mountain is part of the St. Elias Range, a region known for its rugged beauty and massive ice fields. And despite its already immense size, Mount Logan is still growing by a whopping 0.35 millimeters a year due to the tectonic collision between the Pacific and North American plates. It also holds the record for having the largest base circumference of any non-volcanic mountain, stretching 40 kilometers long, making it a colossal natural wonder. While less famous than Everest or Denali, Mount Logan presents climbers with equally challenging conditions. Temperatures can plunge below -45 degrees Celsius, and storms can last for weeks. These extreme conditions have kept the mountain relatively untouched by human activity.
But something that hasn't gone untouched is Canada's vast oil reserves.
This might sound surprising, but Canada ranks among the world's top oil producers, holding the third largest proven oil reserves globally after Venezuela and Saudi Arabia. Most
About
of
that.
Canada's oil is found in
I
the
didn't know
Athabasca
Venezuela.
oil
Yeah.
sands in Alberta, a vast area containing an estimated 165 billion barrels of recoverable oil. But unlike conventional oil reserves, much of Canada's oil is in the form of bitumen, a heavy, viscous form of crude oil that requires extensive processing. The oil sands have been both an economic boon and an environmental challenge. Alberta's oil industry generates billions in revenue and supports thousands of jobs, but it's also criticized for its high carbon emissions and impact on local ecosystems. Canada's oil exports are primarily sent to the United States, making it the largest foreign supplier to the US. Despite this, Canada's oil industry faces challenging in diversifying its markets, as pipeline expansions like the Trans Mountain Project face political and environmental hurdles. Finally, Canada spans 6 primary time zones, making it one of the most time-diverse nations on Earth. From Pacific time in British Columbia to Newfoundland time in the Far East, Canada's time zones reflect the sheer vastness of its geography. Newfoundland is particularly unique as it operates on a half-hour offset, a quirk shared by
Right.
only a few other places worldwide. Canada's time zones are essential for global trade and travel, particularly with its southern neighbor, the United States. The US shares 4 of Canada's time zones, making cross-border coordination smoother than it might be otherwise. This time diversity poses challenges for national coordination though. For example, live broadcasts of sporting events or political speeches often cater to Eastern Time, leaving Western and Atlantic provinces watching at odd hours. It also underscores the immense size of the country. When Vancouverites wake up, Newfoundlanders are already preparing lunch.
Hey Canada, I'm going off script here just a little bit because there's some really wild things happening in our world right now, particularly between the United States and, of course, your own country. I just want to take a minute to reaffirm that I love Canada. In fact, in many ways, it's my very favorite country. I'm a Pacific Northwest person through and through, but in terms of actual countries, Canada is probably the place that I would most feel at home. I get that there's a lot of anxiety floating around based on a lot of things that are being said by world leaders who have no reason to say those things. And I understand that a lot of Canadians are feeling a lot of distrust and hurt by the way that their former friend, the United States, is talking about them. I guess all that I can say at this moment in time is that I fully believe in a free and independent Canada. I love Canada, and if I have anything to say in the matter, Canada will remain free forever. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Yeah, I get what you're saying there, but Canada's just a nice place, isn't it? Nice people and nice. I mean, we know a few Canadians, and they're just nice.
Yeah, they always seem it, don't they?
And I remember saying something like, "I've never met a bad Canadian," and you always get the historians going back, "Well, you should have seen what they did during the war." I went, "I've never met anyone that was in the war that is Canadian, so I can't really comment on that."
Yeah.
But the Canadians I know now, everyone I know is very, very welcoming, and very
Yeah.
warm. You know, it's. I did promise Daryl we will be going over, by the way. So it's.
That'll
so
be a good place to go, man.
I think we're going to target next September to go over. I think we're going to do a trip. I think we're going into somewhere like Nashville first, or somewhere like that, and then flying up to probably.
Always Nashville with you, man, isn't it?
It's got to be, isn't it? It's my number one spot at the moment. It's one of them places when you go somewhere and you start like really fall in love with a place. Nashville's just mint. It's got everything I need there. It's got everything. It's got sport. It's got music. It's got bars. It's got everything I need there. But then we're going to fly up, I think, to Toronto and do a bit of time in Toronto. We were talking driving from Toronto going into Niagara and then back again. But a few people have mentioned it and put me off a little bit. But I've been to Niagara Falls before, but on the US side. So I've not been to the Canadian side. Always look better.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking like I didn't have my passport. I couldn't leave because of my passport. I was applying for a visa, so I didn't have my passport with me.
Right.
And I could see from the other side, it was like that kid looking out the window, all the boys, everyone's playing football on the green, and you're in bed. That's how it felt. Everything was going on over there, and I'm sat there and thinking, what have I come to here? This is a shithole, this side. That side's really good. You know, well, it looked good anyway. You know, casinos and everything. I look behind me, there's nothing there. I'm like, Yeah, but it was definitely got to get to Canada for sure. But some of the places people recommended on the previous video we did, some of them look really good, sort of thing. So it's who knows where it's going to take us, and it's maybe starting Toronto and fly somewhere else. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but it's definitely somewhere I want to do. And it said that was really interesting.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the scenery just looks mint, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially the more rural sort of sides. Don't know where Jeanette lives. I think she lives in Calgary. But she's one of them that posts pictures on Facebook, and it's like July, and it's like first dust in the snow. You're like, what? For real? Yeah, but I imagine in the winter it gets really cold. But I think they have really good summers, don't they, in Canada?
I'm not sure. Never been.
Yeah, I think they do have really nice summers. Not everywhere, I guess, but I think in the main cities, I think they all have really nice summers. But yeah, we will head over there, no doubt. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.